Okay, at the moment I currently have housing. Just temporary though. I did find a roof over my head. That's amazing. So after the first bad phone call, so I went to my mom's and I just grabbed all my shit because she was kicking me out anyways after my surgery. So I just thought, like, two birds, one stone. Like, I've already, like, lived in my car before. It's not that long. I applied for a 10K loan just to get ahead of things and for it to kind of pay for itself. The place for my trailer was like, it's like $2,900 altogether for like everything including the towing, and $1,500 of that being like a down deposit that would get refunded to me once I move out. It's month to month. The plan with the surgery was to like get the surgery heal, and then once I was healed enough that I could sit in my car without the BBL pillow, I would apply for the trailer, as that is only open during the first week of the month or about so. So I'd apply the beginning of October. I'd hear back from them hopefully within like that week or something like that, and then I can get my trailer storage unit 2 weeks because they need a 2 weeks notice beforehand. So kind of worked out, or they'd wait 2 weeks and let me know, and then I can give the 2 week notice to my trailer unit or something like that. Just something along those lines. It was kind of in the air, but I did have like an idea to a point. Once I move into the trailer, it's where my faha, eat healthy. I have a dog. I can go for walks every morning. I do my deliveries during the day. My puppy is really good. She didn't really bark when I had her. She didn't shit inside the house. She was good. She just knew where the door was and just went outside when I let her, or when she needed to. In February, like 2 weeks before my birthday or something like that, I would be able to take the faha off because it's my birthday and I plan that like super perfect. Who doesn't want to look like a hot ass fucking bitch for their birthday? I fucked over by the cops. So then somewhere along the lines, I think it's about 3 months if I recall, with pole dancing classes, and that would have started maybe in like January, which I still ended up going through with. And then once I was done taking pole dancing classes, and while I lived in my trailer, I bought a coffee machine so I could learn how to make coffee, so I can be a bikini barista, so I can switch from being a delivery driver to like bikini barista in the morning, stripper by night, OnlyFans in the free time, keep flipping my money, going at that until I see like a good point where I could go back to school and like invest my money into real estate. I don't want to be in this fucking trench forever. I'd rather not. Hate this shit. And while I lived in my trailer, I could buy all the fucking makeup I wanted. I would have my first makeup desk in my trailer. I could buy all the fucking makeup I wanted. I could make my little makeup videos that I wanted to do and like get ahead of that and like practice my makeup and like redo what I learned in beauty school, because I had the book, so I could just like teach myself and like go through it, so it's already like secondhand knowledge to me, so I can get ahead of that while I figure out how to get back to school. While I was living in my trailer, I could also go hiking. A 2015 Mitsubishi Mirage. It was blue, not my color. A really good car, especially for deliveries. It was like 44 highway and 37 city. And I think that was a really good car for being a delivery driver. And that was kind of like the layout of my life that I had planned. What was planned, like maybe take like a 3 month break between graduating cosmetology school and starting special effects school. Celebrate and have fun and like travel and like have my last summer I'd ever have. Would never truly walk away from my trailer. That is my first home. I bought that thing for $500. Is the first safe place that I've ever truly had to call home, besides my studio apartment in LA. But even then, I had a roommate. She was great, don't get me wrong, Trailer, even on the trailer lot, the rent was $600 a month plus whatever water and utilities are, and I could do that by myself. Rely on anyone for anything. I had a kick-ass roommate, like I'm grateful for that. Moving forward, having something of my own was amazing, and I had full control over it. It was amazing until that first bad call, and it just went to shit. Everything went to fucking shit. After the first bad phone call, packed my shit up, and I went and I sat on Edward's app. I stayed there trying to figure out what the fuck to do. Cause like, what the fuck? That shit. You know, like, fuck them for that. That's fucking bullshit. Oh, logically with math, if he's really that big of a victim, and I just called the cops, this man could get killed. Anyone's abuser getting in trouble is like literally the last thing that their abuser would want, and everything they can to shut or to keep their victim's mouth shut about what they did. This man could get killed. So I just sat by the side and just fucking waited until I could figure something out, because I don't know what the fuck went wrong with them. I don't know why they did that off the top of my head, but that's fucked up. This man truly, I think, needed help. He was somebody that I cared for dearly, so, you know, like, that's fucking great, too. Like, I'm not gonna just leave this man in whatever incest relationship he's in. I can't just walk away from that. I can't just go on with my life. Be 3 years old and just a big fucking victim. I waited there for hours, and I got the grand idea of, like, you know, how about I just go sit behind Kim's car, and I just sit there, and I'm gonna wait. I sit there and I wait until she comes out, and I start recording it. I get her to say something incriminating, and then I can go back to the cops and be like, you guys fucked up, like, here you go, but, like, in a nice way. Obviously, this dude needed help, and all of it would just get taken care of right then and there, so I went and parked behind Kim's car in the alley. I did crack my window open. I didn't seriously watch the house. I was just keeping mindful of it. Like, I'm just gonna fucking sit here. Like, if the window opens, if the door opens, I'm gonna hear it. Maybe she'll come out and say something. I can yell something, and I just, you know, roll down the window real quick. Open the door or something. It's recording. I didn't always record most of the night. I only did when I thought something would happen, and nothing happened, so I just deleted it. I'm not gonna keep this useless shit on my fucking phone. Nothing happened. So I think around 11 o'clock, I want to say it was, that I went and I decided to go do that. You know, I think I also got fucking bored. That's really like an awful thing to go through. And I know that he really cared for me. Backstory of Steven and I. The first time we ever had intercourse, I don't like talking about things like that because that's a very personal thing. It plays a very large part in this. He's only had intercourse with 2 other women before me, and before me was like 2 years, and it was his ex Calicia, and before Calicia was Aaron. And then I think before Aaron was Calicia, so Vancouver for a while. I think he was born there. He was born there, and most of his family is there. He moved up here because of some stuff with Calicia, which I'll explain another time. I'm gonna have to do like a whole video just like Steven and I, so that makes a little bit more sense. Steven and I never talked about dating or marriage ever between us. I have a really big thing about not lying, and I think he's done a great job at not actually lying. I don't think he's always given me the full story to everything, but I think he's given me what I need to know about something. In 2018, when Sean and I had split, quotation marks, we weren't dating, but there was something serious going on, and that's a separate thing. I went out and moved into the second living room. Told me that Kim was grooming him at some given point within the time frame of me living in that living room. I believe it is on my old iPhone. I still have that somewhere. It's on a technicality. inside of my trailer, but I'm not in possession of my trailer anymore. So in a matter, I guess I don't have it anymore, but it should be there in my belongings. The screen is cracked, and it's white. It's like an iPhone 5 or something like that. So it's not on Facebook, and I never deleted that. So I looked that up, and it means sexual and or financial, and standpoints like, why would your sister be sexually attracted to you? That is your fucking sister. Like, okay. If it is financial, then tell her fucking no. Don't be giving your sister money if you don't want to. If you know you're being groomed, then do something about it. And you don't like it, also do something about it. I don't know why he fucking told me that. Or it has something to do with grooming, also has something to do with barbering, but that's not what he meant. I don't know, I just left it alone. I googled that, I didn't understand fully. I also never listed like a specific action, like, oh, she's touching me outside my clothes, she's saying this and that. Like, when I tell you my mom mentally and emotionally abused me, I could tell you how. She would tell me that I was worthless on a regular basis in the morning before school. My mom would pick me up from work and buy everybody else dinner. And turn around and tell me, you come and go as you fucking please, you don't give a fuck about us, you do whatever the fuck you want, you come in and out of this house whenever the fuck you want, you can buy your own fucking food. A very, very small fraction of my relationship with my mother, which I don't give a fuck to go in. Like, he didn't say anything like that. It was just Kim's grooming me. My mom told me to go fucking kill myself when I was 14, to the point that I cut my wrist so I can get help, because me asking for a therapist after I was raped wasn't good enough. Please say more. Like, say something so I know how to help you. You can't just say that and then expect me to fucking understand. I just left it alone. In 2020, when I was sleeping on this guy's couch, when I was sleeping on Landon's couch, Steven texted me over Snapchat, which I'll get to why Steven's not on my Snapchat. Steven sent me a message in the afternoon saying that Kim was grooming him. And again, it's like, okay, like, you want to talk about that? You want to tell me more? You can't just send me, like, it's like somebody sending me a text saying, oh, I'm being murdered, but I don't have, like, a fucking location to give you. I don't know what the fuck you want me to do about that. I don't understand, like, if it's sexual or financial. If you got into the mortgage with your sister, you fucking did that by yourself. You signed that paperwork, you did that. I can't get this man off of a fucking mortgage. It doesn't work like that. I don't know what the fuck he expects from me, but that's not something that's in my skill set. When he told me this afternoon, shortly after, he invited me over, and I said yeah, so I thought maybe he would tell me more in person. Like, yeah, you can tell me more in person, I'll listen. I don't like the fact that he invited me over to the house with his abuser in it. It's not a smart idea. Your sister's abusing you and you want to invite me over. I hardly ever invited anyone over to my mom's house, ever. And when I did, we practically left. Most of my birthdays I spent out the house. I had multiple different parties, and one was mainly with my family than with my friends, and there's usually more people around. It wasn't just like a one-on-one thing. And it's not that I don't believe him. That could be held against him in a court of law. I wasn't gonna be calling anybody a fucking liar. I just don't understand. It's not making sense in my brain. And incest, I didn't strike that as incest. I knew he wasn't having sex with other women, and that was a thing. And that's including his sister. I can help you, just tell me how to help. I don't know what to fucking do with that. Given what you have given me, that doesn't make any sense. So, okay, I went over and he didn't really say anything. So, I don't know, dude. You talk to me. I'm listening. Full ears. Okay? I'm on your side. Like, give me a position. Assign me something. Don't just do that. Like, don't just say stuff like that. And then sometimes it's not safe to always call the police right then and there. that can actually hurt. Victims sometimes need a plan before they escape their abuser. They can't just always leave their abuser. It doesn't work like that. It really just depends on the victim and their situation, but I don't know it entirely. So that's where he needed to communicate, and he failed to do that. So whatever, I just left it alone. I did question some of his other behaviors, but I didn't deep dive into it. And sometimes when I started the conversation first, he wouldn't respond. So I just left it. Conversation with me, and then he would just ghost me. And it's like, I don't know. This camera angle has changed, but you know that it'd be like that. In 2022, in March, rolling this was in March of 2022. It was at the end of March, and it was Thursday into Friday and Friday into Saturday. Thursday into Friday. Thursday into Friday, he texted me, and he started trying to tell me how he felt, and I'll listen. And he got his sister involved and was like saying all these things. I have screenshots of them. I will go over everything on my Instagram so it makes sense. But I'm gonna skip all the details. But I question why he brought his sister into this while he's trying to tell me how he felt. Like, Kim knows you love me. Like, who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck about your sister? I don't give a shit. Everything's not about your fucking sister. I've had 2 boyfriends since 2018. It has been me and only me. And I have it over text message. Multiple times. Different times. I take dating really seriously. Like, that's like the person I want to spend the rest of my life with type of thing. And I've only seriously seen it in like 2 men. And even then, or if that's because I'm young and I'm supposed to be building a life for myself. A life for myself is top priority. How he thought about me all the time. Like, he always thought about me, and I always thought about him too. Like, kind of just like, my thoughts were like kind of through him almost. And I'd always see him like randomly out in public, but he never really saw me. I don't think he ever seriously saw me, but I saw him in his car. But I'm not tracking it, and I don't have his location on his phone. Like, I'm not psycho like that. I've never given a fuck about a dude like that. Whenever I saw this dude randomly, I would always feel weird, and then shortly after I would see him most of the time, or a couple weeks after, like whenever that like the tingling in my elbow went away, or like my leg, and like I would see him driving or something in his Subaru. And a couple times he was with a girl, and I think that was his sister. Most of the time I think he was heading towards his dad's. So I wait by the house around like 2 a.m. A silver car, a Mitsubishi, I want to say it was a Mitsubishi. It looked just like mine, but like a different model. I wasn't completely emotionally there, which should have been a given the fact that I was literally homeless between Steven and I. And also on my Instagram, on my spam, I have this picture where it's this dude in a towel on a bed, and it says, he had like money of like a woman. He drew a picture of a woman out of like racks, and on the caption it said like, the only bitch I'ma chase. And I meant that when I posted that. While I was also homeless, you have to take in consideration that I was paying for an apartment that I didn't even get to really live in, and it literally fucked me up. I had my biggest dreams in my hands. Like, I was going to school every day. I was doing my makeup. I was doing good in school, and then like everything got shut down, and I had to do school online, which is like great, but I mean, it wasn't great, but like I gotta go to school, so like I'm not gonna fucking complain. One of the reasons that pushed me to be homeless was when I was in LA. Either I can stay in my apartment and do one of 2 options. Hope for the best and just pray that I get a fucking job down here in time to pay my rent, or B, go up to Washington and sleep in my car, because, you know, my family ain't shit. My parents, my mom ain't she ain't great. So and then go up to Washington and get a job and pay my rent down there, and then work for 3 months and then go back down. That's the standard base rule with minimum wage jobs, is that you work for them for at least 3 months. And I got a job at Walmart the second day I got up there. That ended up being the best logical option that I could make. I got a job at Walmart on the spot the second day I got up there. And after 3 months, I was going to transfer to Burbank. But things, and because they kept saying that the pandemic was gonna open, like everything was gonna reopen in 2 weeks, this, that, and that. And then they kept redoing that, and they kept doing that, so like it didn't happen, and then all this shit other happened, and I had all these other plans. Natalie didn't happen because of something Natalie had said, and we are no longer friends now, and that has something to do with the Miami trip in 2022 with my BBL. It's not that I couldn't go to Natalie's, something just like, I'll explain it later in a different video. But around 2 a.m. the guy came up, he parked behind me, he turned his overhead light on, and he hesitated putting purple gloves on. He was messing around looking for like notebook, a vest. He got out and he went to my car. He went to the driver's. He went like above, like behind my rear view mirror on my driver's side. I was kind of just standing there and looking at me. I rolled my window down. He did ask me to turn off the car, and he said that he was part of the Everett city and that this was a federal road and I can't park here. And he had like fucking notebook paper. Okay. No badge, no nothing. The license plate was fucking normal. This dude kind of looks like a relative of Kim and Stevens, so I don't know. Given the fact that the police just got involved, and I saw Kim's bathroom light on not that long ago. Steven's about to go to work. He's about to wake up. He has been working the same job since 2015. Steven has thrown a fucking attitude at me for not having his job schedule memorized. He used to tell me that he'd get off at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, sometimes 6, sometimes 2. So I always just kept it open. I always kept open to like his off time. But he said he always started at like 4:30 or something like that. He told me like 4 before, I want to say. Always the same job. He's only ever had one job. He dropped out of high school the beginning of sophomore year, somewhere freshman year. He got that job, and he's had that job ever since. It's a family business, I guess, but it's not a family business. An upkept job site. They make log chips over by the water. I always thought that was cool. I thought that was dope as fuck. He never hid his money, how much money he made for me. It's not that I give a fuck, but like I think it's cool, like jobs like that pay like that. But he was given some insight that he was taken advantage of pay wise, like he's just like their bitch, but like that's how a company works. I felt weird about memorizing his job schedule. Like, why the fuck do I need to have that memorized? But you know, okay. First time we had intercourse was at the job site over by the water with his vehicle. And he's taken me there a couple of times, and Lily, Kim's daughter, also hangs out there sometimes. And I don't know, Kim would just bring her to work. And that happened in 2020. Even though she was old enough to go to school, she was like going to preschool or something like that. So I don't know, like it's kind of weird. So I felt like a little comfortable showing up at the job site after everything had happened. But I wasn't just gonna show up to a job site. I've never just shown up to a dude's job. I've never shown up to any dude's job like that, like, ever in my fucking life. Do you understand? I do not give a fuck enough about men to be fucking with them like that. If they do something to make you do that most of the time, if I didn't get fucked over by the cops, you dump his ass. I was that one friend that sits in the car and is like, yo, you need to get the fuck away from his... Don't be sitting there watching the back fucking door, hoping he comes out, or seeing him trying to flirt with some girl. Like, if a dude has you fucked up like that, you need to leave him. dump him. That's not your man. That is not your man. That is not your boyfriend. That man does not love you. I can't relate. So me showing up to this job site should have raised a million red flags. That should have made you almost shit your fucking pants type of thing. My ass really showed up in a fucking dress at this job site trying to cause a scene to get this investigated since the cops fucked me over and fucked him over. The alleyway showed up and told me it was a fair road and then I needed to leave. I just looped back around. I don't really give a fuck. That dude's probably not from the city of ever. This is some fucking bullshit. Like, I'm not stupid. Didn't this scare me a little bit. He backed out and he went up Edwards and to the right. And he had like a normal license plate. I didn't have time to like write it down or anything like that. It's just like even type it in my phone. Like I didn't have enough time. But once he left, I just went back. What the fuck? Both Kim and Steven work Monday through Friday. Sometimes Steven has work Saturdays. Whenever Sundays, didn't come out to get her little green car that was in the alley. Bitch, what the fuck? That's fucking weird. I also didn't hear Steven's Subaru leave the house. Every single night that I've ever spent, when he left for work in the morning and I was laying down in bed, that bitch shook the entire fucking house. Like it was like a fucking earthquake. That house shook because of his fucking car. When I tell you I didn't hear his car, I didn't hear his car. His Subaru did not activate. I always usually parked up top where Kim's green car is, so I don't know if she's doing that to be a fucking bitch or what. It's 2 garages, so like there's Steven's, he gets like the actual garage inside the house, and then there's like the storage inside of the garage, but behind that, I parked there too. I've had to park up on the hill just like once, and that was this one night when Steven like told me previously that he had this fantasy of me showing up at the back doorstep, his bedroom door, and sent me text messages saying that like he's had this dream where like he would wake up and like he would look at the door and I'm not there, I'm not in bed next to him. I thought it was cute, so I thought one night, I think it was like in April or something like that, I parked up top and I walked over and I saw the truck in the driveway and I was like, you haven't had sex with any other female? I want to say that is Kim's. But once I saw the truck, I walked away. I don't know, he just said that to like set me up, so I'd come over and I'd see him with like in bed with another girl. He broke the blinds in his bedroom when he was drunk, so. But I had a pretty good feeling that was Kim's car, and I did send him a text message about him, but he never got back to that, so I just left it alone. And I'm never doing that ever again. I've never showed up to someone's house like uninvited like that. And like sometime in the afternoon, I let my dog out, and then I tried causing a scene. Like I tried hurting myself and everything. Like maybe he'd come out because there was a light like. I know to a point it was motion censored, but there's like this black thing on it, so I don't know if that was like a camera, but I tried like writing things and just like holding it up to it thinking that it was a camera, because he's mentioned having cameras before. They do have a ring light though, so like in the afternoon, everyone knows, just trying to cause a scene. I did hurt myself to try to cause a scene, like maybe if he's watching the camera he'll fucking come out or call the cops or something will happen and like they'll get investigated. And the cops did show up, and that's what the alley 1 is. Alley 1 and 2 or whatever. I just included them both. So you have the whole thing. In the afternoon I had left. I went to go get food. So that's a little bit of the job site. Not that this is a fucking episode, but I have a lot of shit going on in the moment, so. But I need to talk about this and explain everything that's happening or has happened regarding what has happened. And that's part of it, so. Yep.